Hi, everybody. My name's Jeremy Railton. I'll be your instructor for Intro to Business this semester. This is a great course. It contains a wealth of information that anybody can apply to their life, no matter what your major, no matter what path you're on. Everybody needs to learn about the business world, and this is a great introduction to that. So I hope you really enjoy the course. The purpose of this video is to give you just a brief walkthrough and give you an idea about how everything works. The first item you'll see in the course is the syllabus. I'll hit a couple Highlights here. Won't read the whole thing to you. You can see my contact information here. If you ever need to get a hold of me, email is probably the best way. You're welcome to call my office. Just note that I'm not always in my office, so I'll update these. They're called student hours, but really office hours to let you know when I'll actually be on campus. Here's a picture of what the book looks like that we'll be using. It's Foundations of Business by Pride, Hughes and Kapoor, published by Cengage, 7th edition. Here's a link to the textbook on Cengage's website. You can buy access through the bookstore. You can buy access directly from Cengage. Either way is fine. You can even buy a used copy online without any digital resources, and you'll be fine. All of our homework will be done in Blackboard. So you don't have to do homework on Cengage's website. So you don't have to have, So however you get the book is fine. You'll just need a book in some form. Couple of highlights here. If somebody doesn't participate, this is a school rule, not mine, but if somebody doesn't participate, meaning they don't hand in some type of work for 21 consecutive days, I have to withdraw them. I don't really want to do that. So if you find yourself falling behind, let me know what's going on so hopefully we can work with you. The way your grade will be calculated is 40% of it will be chapter assignments, which are written work that you'll do for each chapter. 40% will be chapter quizzes, a short quiz for each chapter, and then the remaining 20% will be your final exam. Standard 10-point scale, 90 to 100 is an A, and so on from there. A lot of people ask if I accept late work. The answer is I do. The catch is that there will be a penalty of 10 points per day up to 6 days past the due date. Once we get beyond 6 days past the due date, the assignments become unavailable. You won't be able to view them or do them anymore. The exceptions to this policy are the final chapter's work and the final exam. I have to keep those due dates firm because I have to get final grades submitted on time. The last thing that we'll cover for this course is, I know with the rise of AI tools, a lot of people are using these very heavily to just guide them in their lives. We're going to do this course without them, meaning everybody does their own work without the use of AI tools. I think you just learn a lot more this way. So that's the general expectation for everything in the course. So what that means is if I get a paper that looks like it's been generated by AI, I'll just give it a 0 and I'll prompt you to contact me. Now, if I made a mistake, you can plead your case to me. It'll be fairly easy to convince me if I think you actually did the work. And then we can go from there. But just don't use AI. Don't turn in a paper created by AI and we'll be fine. Even if your paper isn't perfect, spelling and grammar-wise and all that stuff, that's fine. I would rather hear your work in your own voice rather than just what a machine can generate, because that's not very fun to read. Going back to the course, the second item in here is the course schedule. This will give you all the due dates for the entire semester. My recommendation is you keep one big calendar that you have all your due dates for all your courses in. That way you don't have to constantly look back and forth in Blackboard, which can be kind of tedious. Just keep in mind that there are multiple versions of this course that will run that start at different times. The dates might be slightly different. So don't count on this video to get your due dates. Look in your course schedule to find out what those exact due dates will be when you log into your course. You can find a lot of stuff in the Start Here area. There should be a link to this video. I'll also put the link to this video in a welcome announcement that I'll post in announcements. From there, you can just read down to find out just some introductory information. One thing you might find helpful is some of you, this might be your first time working in Blackboard, so the helpful videos area can be very as the name suggests, helpful in learning how to do some basic tasks like take quizzes, submit assignments, check your grades, stuff like that. So I think that's a good area if you find yourself a little bit confused by Blackboard. You can also reach out to me if you need help. One very important item in here is a course entry quiz. This registers that you've officially entered the class, and it keeps you from being dropped because you aren't doing anything. So you don't have to know anything to do it. It doesn't take more than just a minute or two. I'd recommend just pausing the video now and just go ahead and do the course entry quiz so you don't forget. Even though it's very easy, like I said, you don't need to know anything. It doesn't take much time. It's very important because it creates a record of for us that you have entered the course and you're going to participate. From there, one of the remaining things you'll need to do is gain access to the book. I mentioned that earlier in the syllabus portion. But if you buy the access card from the bookstore or if you buy directly from Cengage's website online, then you're going to need to follow the steps to actually gain access to that. And you can find those steps in the Cengage publisher information area. Once you've gone through all these steps and you've gotten access to a textbook, you can start right in with chapter 1. Each chapter structure will look very similar. So once you get used to chapter 1 structure, you'll notice that it pretty much follows all the way through the rest of the course. So the first thing, you log in, you click into a chapter, you'll see objectives. You can look at the learning objectives. There's a link to the chapter of the ebook if you're using the online book. You can see PowerPoint. There will be a lecture video that you can watch if you prefer to have somebody talk you through the material. And then there will generally be 2 assignments. One will be a chapter quiz. One will be some type of written assignment, whether it be a discussion board or something else. And those will be the assignments that are actually graded that you do for that chapter. So once you get, like I said, you get used to that format, you click in chapter 2, looks very similar. It's different content, but structure is similar to hopefully keep things easy to navigate. That should be enough to get you started. But just realize that I am an actual real person that works on the Dallas campus. You can contact me, phone, email, whatever, and I'll be here to help you if you have questions or if you need help with anything. So don't hesitate to reach out. This won't be, I'm used to working with new students. You won't be the only new student in the course. So that's completely fine. I really just want you to have a good semester and learn a lot. So with that, I'll let you get back to it, and I'll see you in the classroom.